everybody, and welcome in to our Clark's Pump and Shop and Mingy Beef Jerky Big Blue Preview. It's Kentucky and Tennessee in the Sweet 16. Hi, I'm Jeff McCord alongside of Hallie DeVore, and we are live from Indianapolis, just outside of Lucas Oil Stadium in downtown Indianapolis, and the town has been painted blue.
Yeah.
So much excitement here, Hallie.
Behind us.
Got a lot of UK fans. We've seen it all blue and white. We've seen a lot of Purdue fans here as well. They play the second game against Houston. But let's jump right into this UK-Tennessee talk.
Yeah, I mean, this is the first time that these two teams are ever meeting in the postseason. And for Kentucky, you know, this roster is brand new this year. They have had so much success under Mark Pope.
Both of the games against Tennessee have been totally different games.
Yeah.
First game, no Lamont Butler. He was back, played decent in the second game. He had, 4 assists and 3 steals in that game. But you've had different scorers in each of those games, too, that have really come through for the Cats.
Yeah, I mean, Ansley Almanor has played a huge role in both games against Tennessee. You saw double digits from Trent Noah in the last game. But you mentioned Lamont Butler. Having him back is going to be key for Kentucky. I mean, they call him Lamarch for a reason. Remember that game against SDSU, the game-winning shot? Now, he is going to be key, and to have him back and healthy for a full game against the Vols, Mark Pope says, could be crucial.
It's a beautiful thing as a coach. It's just like a beautiful thing as a parent. When you see your children doing things better than you ever did them and being smarter than you ever were and doing things that are so brave and so bold, we all know what that feels like. That's how I feel about Lamont Butler. He's doing things that you just shouldn't have to ask a player to do. And he has never been dissuaded. He's never been diverted or distracted from his core, which is he wants to raise up and do this for his guys. And he's doing it at insane cost right now. And with unbelievable bravery and unbelievable fortitude and gratitude. And it's just that's why I love sports. You know, when I talk about sports, does it give us a chance to do something even more than we have to do the winning? But can you win and actually do something more than winning? And Lamont Butler, if there's a guy that's been symbolic of that for our season on this team, you talk about a guy that's winning and doing more, it's been Lamont Butler. He's really special.
About the bench is going to be key in this game, and I'll tell you about a couple of those players coming up a little later in the show that we're going to have to see step up.
All right, now let's take a look at Tennessee, and for that we head back to the studio and our Forrest Tucker. Forrest?
I thank you both very much. Going to go in depth on the Vols for a moment. Effort and intelligence are the two qualities that Tennessee head coach Rick Barnes says his team did not have versus Kentucky in their previous 2 meetings this season. Kentucky swept the Vols, shooting 50% from the field and distance in both of those matchups. The question Barnes seems to have for his team tonight is, will they be able to keep up with Kentucky beyond the arc?
And I think you give them credit. They made the shots. I mean, there's no question, and they're a team that's capable of making tough shots. But we did have some breakdowns that let them get going, and I think a team like that they can shoot it. You give them just a little bit of space, let them get their rhythm. It doesn't take much for them to have a great night against you.
All right, let's talk about that three-point shooting in depth here, because in Tennessee's first 2 matchups with UK this season, they had trouble from that range, to say the least. In Game 1, the Vols shot 24% from behind the arc while attempting a season-high 45 threes. In Game 2, it was even worse. Tennessee connected on 3 of 18 deep shots, coming out to 16%. Barnes says his shooters weren't good enough to give 45 threes a go in Game 1, and in Game 2, his guys just didn't execute their plan well enough to win the game.
It's hard to get the ball inside when you're not making threes, because they're just going to keep backing. But they've got good length. They've got length, and they're going to play personnel. You could tell they really wanted to try to take away the lob tonight and let Zakai go in and see if he could finish enough. They're going to shoot it, and you hope that, like anybody, that when you come in too, when you get some looks at it, you can make some of them to negate some of that. We didn't tonight, with the fact that we only made 3 tonight and they made 12. We were still right there, and really it was probably because of our defense.
Here's what you really need to know, though. Have the Vols gotten any better shooting the 3 since the last time they faced UK? In 11 games since, UT has shot 35% from deep, making 8 threes a game on average. That's not much better than their season average of 34%. And you can see here that average is also 8 made triples a game. So the answer is no. Tennessee had its 2 worst shooting nights in the second half of the season versus Kentucky. So if anything in the past tells us what's going to happen tonight, this game seems like it'll be won from 20 feet 9 inches or deeper. Right, stay with us. Jeff Piecoro sitting down with a certain Skywalker, not Luke, not Anakin, but Kenny, right after the break.
Every woman will experience menopause, but when it happens, will you be prepared? Join Maria Shriver, Naomi Watts, Halle Berry.
What if, when a woman realized she was in menopause, you get a siesta?
The Menopause Revolution, Monday on ABC.
Who is Lexington Sporting Club? We are the professional soccer team in the heart of the Bluegrass. From our youth academy to the Women's Super League to the Men's USL Championship team, we're building a future. From every corner of Lexington, we are united under one crest. This is your team. This is your community. Together, we are creating our story and leaving our mark. This isn't just any club. It's a club to call your own. Get your tickets today at lexsporting.com/tickets.
Kentucky Eye Center offers a full range of services, including eye exams, glasses and contacts, cataract surgery, glaucoma treatment, diabetic exams, ocular surface disease, and retinal disorders. Make your appointment today at Kentucky Eye Center.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. For over 35 years, we've battled against insurance company giants, and we've won a lot. There's only one Morgan & Morgan.
Jeff Piecoro, sports, weeknights on ABC 36 News at 6.
I did 950 miles on the Pacific Crest Trail and then decided I wanted to go hike in the Himalayas. I was not 20 years old. I was 64 years old. We had an absolutely incredible experience. We trekked about between 90 and 92 miles, and to do it pain-free. You think I'm not grateful for arch supports from Good Feet? I mean, come on. I'm Dale, and that's my Good Feet story.
See for yourself with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Public place where you feel strange dancing to music.
Cemetery.
Family Feud.
And depending on who died.
Weekdays at 10, 4, and 7:30 on ABC 36.
One of the more celebrated players in the history of Kentucky basketball is Kenny Skywalker. He's a guy that knows a thing or two about beating the same team 3 times in 1 year. He did it twice in his senior season. He came in, and I was able to sit down and talk with him on Wednesday about the big game coming up at 7:39 tonight. Well, this guy doesn't really need an introduction, but Kenny Skywalker joining us now. And Kenny, I want to talk. Everybody's making such a big deal out of you playing Tennessee for the 3rd time, and you beat them twice. How much pressure is that? Because in 1986, you played a couple of teams, not 3 times, but 4 times, yeah. Alabama and LSU.
Yeah, that's very tough. You know, of course, the year that you're talking about, 1986, Eddie Sutton's first year at UK. Unbelievable season, 32-4. I think, you know, like 14-1 or something in the SEC. And we beat LSU, Alabama, both teams 3 times during the regular season in the SEC tournament. So, yeah, you can beat a team 3 times, and we did that. But I think Kentucky has a great opportunity to win this ball game. Sometimes it's styles make fight.
Well, that's what
style of play.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you, because you know you look at like Alabama this year. Kentucky doesn't match up real good with Alabama.
And Alabama beat us 3 times.
But Kentucky matches up well with Tennessee because if Lamont Butler's healthy, which he, you know, as healthy as he's going to get, but with him and Ortega, that kind of takes out their best 2 shooters on the outside.
If you can keep Ziegler from penetrating the lane and breaking down your defense, and then force them to take contested jump shots from 20 feet up to the force them to take a lot of threes, which they did in the first game, and they could make them. So you hope that you can force them to take a lot of outside shots and stay out of foul trouble. And our big guys matches up really well with their big guys. And then, like you said, I think the key to it is Lamont Butler. I know Kobe went off in the last game offensively, and obviously from an offensive standpoint of view, he was great. But Butler is the key offensively and defensively to get us in the right defense, get us in the right offense. He's the floor general, the quarterback, so he's the guy that I think that makes it all go. And I think this Kentucky team, with the injuries and everything that they've had to overcome this year, they got that heart, that grit, and more importantly, they got the confidence that they know that they can beat Tennessee. And I think the great thing about sports is mentally when you get into other teams' head, that's a big advantage of going in. Now, you got to go out and play with a lot of heart and effort to back that up, but at least from a confidence standpoint, I think they'll be ready to play.
Kenny, you went through a coaching transition as well from Joe to Eddie. What do you think the transition was like this year from Cal to Mark? Very different philosophies in offense and defense, almost a pro-style offense Kentucky runs with the flow and all that kind of stuff. But how do you think that transition has gone this year?
Calipari is a lot of big guys, developing big guys, even though he played that dribble drive offense. I do think Pope plays a more offense that will get guys, especially if you're perimeter players, he's going to give you an opportunity to shoot a lot of threes. They're going to get up and down, and they're going to play an up-tempo style, and that's what they're playing in the NBA right now. So even if you're a big guy, Coach Pope is going to allow you to take a couple of threes where Calipari would tell Anthony Davis and Karl Anthony Towns, some of those guys, no, you guys need to play inside and prove that you can do that. And I think Pope let these guys play more of the natural way that the game is being played today.
All right, final question for you. What do you think happens?
Well, I'm going with the Cats, to win this game, simply because I just think that, again, I really think that we have a style of play that gives Tennessee a lot of problems. But Tennessee helps out with that a lot because they're not a good shooting team. At least they haven't shot the ball well against us this year. I've seen a few other games where they can catch fire and do well. I do think the game plan that Kentucky has used so far against Tennessee this season, pack it in, make them shoot it from the outside, and I think as long as Butler is healthy and he can contain Ziegler from getting in the lane, only thing we got to do is make some shots offensively. I think we can win the game. X factor for Kentucky could be Chandler coming off the bench. He's starting to come along, filling the role, giving us some scoring off the bench. More importantly, dropping three-point bombs. So if he can continue to shoot the ball well, I think he could be an X factor in this game.
Partner, thanks as always. I appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
Kenny Walker. One of the best. Always great catching up with Kenny Skywalker, that's for sure. We are inching closer and closer to tip-off. The parking lots are starting to fill. The buses are coming in behind us. The Tennessee team just got here. We'll have much, much more coming up on our preview show right after this. Stay with us.
Imagine yourself in a new Toyota. Imagine the hidden gems you'll find. Sweet.
Ribs, please.
Imagine all the dust you'll kick up.
It's easy.
Imagine the memories you'll make.
Yeah.
And some you'd like to forget.
Save on the best-selling Tacoma and lease this well-equipped 25 Tacoma TRD Sport for $369 a month. Or you can get 4.99 APR financing on Tacoma.
Go from dreaming it to driving it today.
Toyota. Let's go places.
Here we are, patient billing.
Whoa, who's that?
Oh, well, that's Mark. He marks up medicines.
340B medicine markups?
Bingo. As a nonprofit, we might pay a penny for a medicine. Mark marks it up to thousands of dollars, and we pocket the difference.
I hear we're buying up small hospitals, too.
More medicines to mark up.
Inspiration grows here. The Central Kentucky Home and Garden Show, April 4th through 6th at Central Bank Center. Celebrating 50 years of home and garden inspiration with special giveaways and exclusive savings. Don't miss Kentucky Food Network star Chef Jason Smith on Friday and Saturday. And check out the Better Business Bureau's popular silent auction at the show. Shop, compare, and save on kitchens, baths, landscaping, and more. The Central Kentucky Home and Garden Show. Buy tickets early and save $2 at centralkentuckyhomeshow.com.
Your business property should stand out with more than just quality, and there's a company dedicated to more than just landscaping. At Rogers Lawn and Landscaping, integrity isn't just a word, it's a way of doing business. We believe in a fair quote from the start. Consultations aren't just free, they're the foundation of a personal touch that defines our work. Rogers Lawn and Landscaping, not just about creating beautiful spaces, but building relationships that last.
Welcome back in. Well, like we were talking about earlier, injury has really been a problem for this team early in the season, but now they have been cruising with the same roster for a little bit and doing well in the NCAA tournament. They did not have Lamont Butler in the SEC tournament, which definitely was a hit, but he is back and good to go for the NCAA tournament. Travis Perry also said he was perfectly fine yesterday when we talked to him in the locker room. He was dealing with a wrist injury before. A bunch of other players have stepped up this season with the loss of Kerr Kriisa and Jackson Robinson, which has allowed the team's defense to really collectively come together, because we knew from the beginning this was a team that could shoot, but their defense what was really holding them back. Trent Noah talked to us after the game about how this group has really come together, and they feel like now that they have a consistent roster, Tennessee will not know what's coming.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely the healthiest we've been in a while. So being able to kind of have this healthy of a group in the postseason and be able to play Tennessee for the first time with everybody, it should definitely help us and make a difference, and just kind of be able to be on the court with them. I mean, I've never played, like I didn't get to play with Tennessee with Andrew or Lamont, and then Lamont played not many minutes at Rupp, so being able to play them guys with us at decently full strength or fuller strength than we have been, it should be fun.
All right, so now you have this consistent roster, something that Tennessee has not seen before, and the jumps that they have taken defensively, especially here in the NCAA tournament, are unlike any team Mark Pope says he has ever seen. Lamont Butler and Kobe Brea really leading the charge defensively for this Kentucky Wildcats team, and everyone else has got on board.
We're a lot different, we're better defensively, and, the things we do on offense is a lot different too, and even our plays are different. We got Connor Chandler who's hot right now, so guys like that who are able to step up and help us more than they did last time is going to change the game a lot. So.
A big key in our progress defensively has been our group, our collective, not effort, but being connected as a team, and I think that is something that has really grown since we even started the tournament. These last two games is our trust and our communication defensively, and so I'm really excited to see how that goes tomorrow with our defensive effort against them.
You guys, I know I sound like a broken record, but defense truly is the way that Kentucky can win this game. In the last two tests against Tennessee, they've shot 50% from both the field and the three in both of those last two games. Tennessee's defense is really, really strong. They're one of the top in the country, so there's no guarantees that Kentucky's going to have another night shooting 50% overall. So defense is going to have to step up. And I'll be honest, after the last two games and the last game against Illinois, 14 steals, things are looking good for the Cats. Well, we'll have more with John Clay of the Lexington Herald Leader coming up after the break.
Reimagine exceptional with the Buick Envision. With advanced technology and breathtaking clarity, and quiet serenity within. Experience confident driving, an all-wheel drive that takes you wherever you need to go. Make every day an occasion. Buick, exceptional by design.
Get 0.9% APR, plus no monthly payments for 90 days on Buick Envision. Visit your Bluegrass Buick dealer today.
The massage program that we have here at the College for Technical Education, it's a medical massage program, and it currently is the most comprehensive in the state.
The medical massage program has financial aid available. You get real-life, hands-on experience.
It just had the best program to fit my lifestyle so I could create the perfect career.
The instructors are wonderful and cater to everybody's individual needs.
So I chose the medical massage program because it's a career I would simply enjoy.
Talk to us and see what your options may be.
Staying safe and comfortable is essential to making a home feel like a home. And a tub-to-shower conversion is one of the best ways to reduce the risk of injuries for homeowners. At West Shore Home, we help hundreds of homeowners every week replace their old step-over bathtubs with a modern step-in shower in as little as 1 day. And right now, our 1-week flash sale is making it easy to start the year with a brand new shower. Call the number on your screen now to get 25% off your bathroom remodel. And on top of that, anyone that calls in right now, I'm doing something special. I'm doing 12 months of no payments and no interest financing. Complete your bathroom remodel now and don't make your first payment until an entire year after your project is complete. To get started, just call the number on your screen. But just because it's affordable doesn't mean we cut corners. With our world-class remodeling experience, we can start in the morning and be done by dinner time so you don't have to deal with any disruptions. We'll remove your old bath down to the studs and replace it with a brand new shower. You can even pick on your grab bar and seat placement so you can have maximum comfort and peace of mind in your space. And we'll leave your home so spotless, you don't have to worry about any extra mess. And with our 1-week flash sale, you can lock in 25% off your entire bathroom remodel if you act now. On top of that, anyone that calls the number on their screen, I'm doing 12 months of no payments, no interest financing. But you need to act now because this deal ends Saturday. Don't miss out. Lock in limited time flash sale savings by scheduling your free, no obligation design consultation with West Shore Home.
There's a faster way to sell your house. We can buy your house within 10 days as is. Foreclosures, damaged, trashed, and tired landlord houses. Call me today. Quick consult, fast cash. 859-888-1100. Need to get rid of a property fast? We can buy your house for cash within 10 days. Inherited property, divorce houses, farmland. Call 859-888-1100. Haas & Haas Properties is the faster way to sell your house.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back into our Clark's Pump and Shop Mingy Beef Jerky NCAA Tournament Preview Show. Kentucky and Tennessee now just a little over an hour and a half before tip-off here live from Indianapolis. John Clay, the Herald leader, has been covering UK basketball for more than 40 years, so he knows a thing or two about the Cats and the Vols. I was able to sit down with John this past week and talk about tonight's game. I'm joined now by John Clay of the Herald Leader. Appreciate you coming out. Now, you've been doing this since the early 80s, right? 1981, right. I think, was your first year covering the Cats and sports with the Leader.
Yeah.
So I want to go back, way back to the 80s as we talk, because Kentucky's playing Tennessee, a team they beat in Knoxville and in Lexington. Well, they beat them in Knoxville. They were the #1 team in the country. Not easy to beat a team 3 years in a row, or 3 times in a row, is it?
Yeah, that's the old adage. It's tough to beat any team 3 times in a row. Not that it can't be done. Alabama beat Kentucky 3 times this year, beat them twice in the regular season, and then blew them out in the SEC tournament. But yeah, on the one hand, it's tough to beat a team 3 times in a row. On the other hand, Kentucky has the confidence that they've done it. They can beat this Tennessee team. They beat them in Knoxville. They beat them in Lexington. They beat them really kind of shorthanded in both games. So it kind of balances out. You know, Tennessee, obviously both teams have a lot of incentive to get to the regional final. Tennessee knows they've lost twice to them, but Kentucky knows they can beat this team.
Well, you know, you mentioned you beat them twice, shorthanded each time when they won. But when you look at the numbers, they really have 3 guys that shoot the 3 really well. Kentucky defended well in those games. Tennessee shot miserably in both of those games. Kentucky, I don't want to say on fire, but was shot really well in those games. So what do each of those teams you think do differently this time around?
Yeah, I mean, there was a weird stat on Kentucky's side. Well, a couple of weird stats. As you mentioned, Tennessee, they shot 45 threes in the first game in Knoxville, went 11 of 45. Even Rick Barnes said after the game he couldn't believe how many threes. They were behind most of that game. I think they panicked, tried to catch up, shot a lot of threes. Kentucky was 12 of 24 in both those games, both at Knoxville and Lexington, for shooting threes, 50%. It's unusual to shoot 50%, but to shoot the exact same number in both games is unusual. Tennessee shot the ball much better from 3 in Lexington for those 2 games in the NCAA. But Kentucky has been one of the better teams defending the 3. They've been in the top 20, top 30 rankings defending the 3 all season. So obviously that's going to play a huge part, and then they'll probably won't even be the biggest factor in the game on Friday. But it's definitely something to look at going into the game.
Speaking with John Clay, the Lexington Herald leader, and John, you've covered these cats for a long time. Since Mark's been here, not a great defensive team. Almost 3/4 of the season, they're ranked 110th in defensive efficiency. All of a sudden, they turn it around, and as the tournament starts, they're 45th. So a huge jump. Mark Pope even talked about it in the press conference last week about he's never seen a team do that before. And to me, defenses all want to, right? I mean, you just don't go out there and say, I'm going to play defense. You've got to really want to play. With Lamont Butler, this is a pretty darn good defensive team.
I think it goes back to a lot of times coaches say you get what you emphasize. And after they lost that Ole Miss game 98-84, where it looked terrible defensively, Ole Miss really took advantage of them. Mark Pope, he said this, started emphasizing defense, worked on defense more, and they've gotten better. I thought the game the other night against Illinois was one of their best defensive games of the year.
14 steals.
They had 14 steals, tied their season high. They were very disruptive right from the start, kind of set the tone. Illinois had played Xavier a couple of nights earlier, and they looked good offensively. But I went back and watched the broadcast, and Stan Van Gundy kept pointing out, the analyst, former NBA coach, said they turned the ball over a lot. That's the one thing that bothers me about Illinois, and I thought Kentucky took advantage of that. And they did a good job of defending the 3. Illinois ended up shooting less than 30% from the 3. So, yeah, Kentucky's gotten a lot better, and obviously Lamont Butler makes a huge difference. I thought after the game, Brad Underwood, the Illinois coach, was asked, how far can Kentucky go? He said, I guess as far as Lamont wants to take them. And he talked about Lamont's experience playing in the tournament, and he's such a disruptive force on defense. I think he makes a big difference.
Is it almost addition by subtraction when you lost Jackson for the season and all the players? All right, we know he's out now. You're not looking over your shoulder anymore. Guys like Colin has been fantastic the last couple of weeks. Where did Garrison come from? The last 5 or 6 games. I mean, these are guys who gave some contributions during the year. But, you think of a kid like Colin Chandler. He missed basketball for 2 years. Now, all of a sudden, now we see this kid's got some potential in the future. But they are the key guys to me. And then all of a sudden we hear now Travis Perry's got something with his wrist. He didn't play the other night. What do you make of all that?
Well, I think, and you hear some fans complain about, why did Mark sub so much? And what about all these different lineups and so forth? Sure. But now you're really seeing it pay off. They had those injuries, like you mentioned, with Jackson Robinson. Lamont's been hurt off and on. They've had some other guys hurt. But that Mark used that opportunity to get these other players playing time so they progress through this season. I think Colin Chandler's made a huge difference. The way he has played. He had a couple big threes the other day. Brandon Garrison, the way he's played. And look at Kobe Brea. I mean, Kobe Brea came here as a three-point specialist, one of the best three-point shooters in the country. And the other night, he missed 1 shot from 2-point range. He was 3 for 6 from outside the arc, and he only missed 1 shot inside. He's turned into more of a complete player. I'm not sure that would have happened had not Jackson Robinson gotten hurt, and then more time for Kobe Brea. So those guys, I hate to use the old cliche about stepping up, but those guys have really stepped up, and they've made a difference in the tournament, and I expect them to be a big factor on Friday.
All right, $64,000 question is this. Can Kentucky win a third time? And if so, how do they do it?
Well, yeah, sure, they can win. They can beat Tennessee. Tennessee's really good. Tennessee's favorite, which I don't think is a big surprise. They're the number 2 seed. Yep. They ended up with a better SEC record than Kentucky. But I think the way Kentucky can beat Tennessee is kind of the way they beat them the first 2 times. They're going to have to be able to shoot well from 3, and they're going to have to defend Tennessee. Tennessee's a really good defensive team, but Kentucky's got to play good defense just like they did in the Illinois game. I think that's how they can beat Tennessee. But obviously Tennessee's favored, and it's tough to beat, especially a good team 3 times. But like I mentioned earlier, Kentucky does have that confidence. We can do it. We know we can do it. We've done it before. We beat them at their place. We beat them at our place. We can beat them on a neutral floor. So I think they have that confidence going into this game.
John, as always, thank you so much, and I just hope we get the same seats there that we had in Milwaukee. Not too shabby.
That'd be great.
All right, we thank John Clay. We thank Kenny Walker for helping us out on our show tonight. She's Hallie DeVore. I'm Jeff Pecoro. Stay with us. The 6 o'clock news coming up next, and we'll be back in sports right before the game.